Hi, you guys. For my second career profile, I just went for the gold and I decided to study what I actually want to do, which is marriage and family therapy. Well, actually, mostly just family therapy. And I actually have some really good hookups. Where I live, there is a guy that I know who actually works for LDS Family Services, two of them. And I spoke to him and then one of his female coworkers just kind of about what you can expect. So, what I learned, a lot of it is kind of what I already knew because I've researched this before, but basically, they just talked about the stressors of the job, and then a little bit about the background, like the education that you need. So, their office is pretty small. There's five counselors and there's three secretaries who work on a rotating basis. The whole organization that they're part of is much larger, but they told me that actually the size of their office is fairly typical for people who own their own offices. And then their hours are also quite flexible. They work according to their own preferences. They basically set their own schedules. They keep it pretty consistent. And depending on the person, some of them start at 7 a.m. and then other ones go until like 7 p.m. Because obviously they have clientele who have to come before or after work or after kids. And then a couple of them work Saturdays, but none of them, of course, work Sunday because it's an LDS office. So I just thought that was pretty family friendly. I mean, once you get enough tenure, you just kind of work like your clients work with you. So it's a pretty, it's not like a regular job. It's a cool job. The stressors that they talked about, they said that they're really grounded people. But from what I could ascertain based on what they were saying to me, it is a very, very stressful job because literally, I mean, and you expect that for therapy, but people just dump on you like all of their life traumas and problems, and you get to hear a lot of really awful stuff, like the worst stuff that humanity has to offer. And also the people who are telling you it are really emotional about it too, and that takes a big toll. So one of the women that I spoke, well, she was the only woman that I spoke with, but she said that she has like a 45-minute commute back home, and she said that car ride is absolutely indispensable, that there's like a sign that she says she passes every day on the way home, and she knows that once she reaches that sign, she's got to drop all of the concerns of the day and kind of leave it at work, and then she knows that when she gets back, she'll be up and writing case studies and taking care of her clients the way that she needs to. So benefits really largely depend. This office does have benefits. Other offices where you're like self-employed, you don't. You obviously, because you're your own boss, so you have to come up with your own stuff. And then common tasks, obviously listening to people, but then also they said there's a lot of clerical work that you wouldn't expect. Like one of the gentlemen I spoke with said that probably the majority of his job is just like staying up to date on his like issues that are pertinent to his client. So like his training, that's not the word that he used, but whatever. And then just updating files and updating your notes. And some of them record sessions, other ones, I think depending on the person, actually, some, like the client, they'll record some and not others. And then, of course, since they are LDS, I really like this part. They also include prayer and scripture study as part of their like daily job to keep them connected with the spirit. So I thought that was really cool. But anyways, it was really interesting. And then also the salary range. I just want to touch on that briefly. Starting salary range after you have, your licensure as a clinical social worker. Education also. So one of them just had a master's degree. The other lady had two doctorate degrees, but both of them had license LCSW, so the licensed clinical social worker, which you have to have as far as I'm aware in Idaho. So that will have to happen for me, which I was already planning on. And then the salary, 42,000, and then the high end is like 78,000. Other places it's higher because the cost of living is higher, but in Idaho is where I was basing it off of. So, anyways, good stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye.